see what's coming out in these messages today. What is happening for us now? Something is happening for us. You know, whenever you have a beautiful life experience, something happens, stop to ponder or even reflect back and realize, like, things were set in motion to move that energy, that experience towards you long before you came into contact with it. And so if that's true, this is always happening for you. This is always happening for you in ways that you don't even realize until it fully materializes. And so that's kind of the energy we're looking at today. Like something has been in the motions towards us and it's happening for you, not against you. It's for you. For you specifically. Yeah, you. So let's see what we have. From the spiritual news oracles, it says, breaking news. Whatever it is that you have been praying for or trying to manifest is on its way to you. Keep believing and know that Spirit is always working on your behalf. That's perfect. It goes with a question that I asked. So it's something that you've been praying for, something that you've been trying to manifest. I heard no, materialize, because the manifestation, as we keep reminding you, has been done from the moment you had it clear in your mind what you wanted, right? And maybe some of you really are trying to manifest because, you know, maybe you haven't known specifically what it was, what you wanted. Maybe it wasn't clear to your mind's eye. And anywhere where that's the truth, like that's being settled, that's being realized, that's being clearly defined at this time. So let's get some cards out from the Handmade Oracle Collection. You were still refined by the process. There was a process to getting here. There was a process to materializing this. It's taken some time. And part of the reason for that process and the time was for your refining. It was so you could be purified in the process. I'm hearing to align with the experience. Okay, so you're still refined by the process. What else? Oh, look at that. Each day with you brings delight new. I look forward to more and appreciate each one I've experienced thus far. Happy, 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 and appreciative. Okay, so one of the things that was part of the process was to get with yourself and to enjoy your journey, to enjoy your process, to enjoy where you're at this time. What's up, giver takers? Okay, let me see what else we have. DNA activation. Absolutely. So in this process, not only were you refined, but you activated dormant strands of your DNA, okay? And so this is an elevation. Like this is we said purification, but it's like a re-authentication. It's like getting back in tune. It's like recalibration to what you truly are at your core. I love this. Yeah, it's like a realignment to what you were before you came here, right? Because they're just showing me, like, when you got here, you're just a little tyke, they said. When you were just a little tyke, all this DNA was not active in you. Yeah, it was not active in you. And so different processes you went through woke up experiences, awareness, and expansion in you that caused the DNA activation as you would move differently, as you chose differently, as you lived this human experience from a different perspective and a different, they're like, I heard integers, feeding it different, feeding different parameters, different, inserting something different into the formula. And it was an empowering difference. It wasn't like you were doing better and then you slipped down into doing some lower vibrational BS. No, it was like, hold on, this isn't working so well. Let me see how I can do better here. And so you elevated the process, okay? And when you made those decisions, oh, thank you, yeah. And I just heard scientifically backed evidence, okay. So, I was channeling messages about how when you make different decisions, you literally change your DNA. And when I was in school, they told us that DNA couldn't be changed. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit type of thing. But I was talking about this on a live. It was actually on an interview with Carolina de Sevilla that I mentioned it first on camera, where she threw out, well, no, there's actually scientifically based evidence to prove that fact. And so now they want me, of course, to post the interview. So let me go to that very short playlist. Let me see. Oh, here we go. I'll share that. Oh gosh, this is 5 years ago, but I'll share that as a post to the community tab, so you can go check that out if you are interested in that. And she's a teacher, and she's very much into the science that proves things. So she was like, no, they have scientifically backed evidence that proves that you literally, by making different choices, can change your DNA. And so there's been a DNA activation. And I'm hearing anywhere where you didn't believe things were possible, or you have accomplished what you previously thought and knew you just could not, now you're doing it, right? And I hear in before it would have been by no stretch of the imagination would you have imagined that you would have accomplished this, but now it's done, it's been done, you know, and you've done it time and time again. And they're like, trust and believe, you definitely activated new DNA in regards to these situations and circumstances. So that's pretty freaking cool. All right, let's find out how we can work our light in this experience. Okay, let's see what else Spirit's going to show us today. How did you wake up this morning? Because I woke up freaking alive, grateful, loving on my body, loving on my breath, and loving on my sheets and my pillow. I freaking love my sheets and my pillow. It was a great way to wake up. Okay. Do you got us on the big screen? Are you watching on your phone, your tablet, your laptop? Where are you watching us at? What you doing while you watching? Or are you just listening because you can't watch because your hands is busy, your eyes is busy, but your ears are listening and your brain is tuned in? I love it. What's up, Hermit? Okay, let me see what we have coming out. How can you work your light in this energy? What do we have at this time? Something is happening for you right now. We want to know more about that. Okay. It says, share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution and expression. So what's happening for you right now is that you can share your voice. You have things to say. You have an important message to share. So get up and share it, right? It's like that. Stop hiding yourself. So there's something that's happening for you right now. I heard the stage is being set for you to share your voice, to proclaim your message, for you to tell what you know, okay? Let me see. Align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change. And I hear that part of your message has to do with finding the alignment. So some of you are telling the story of how you figured out what did not belong here. We talked about that the other day, didn't we? So what does not belong here? It's like a kid's game, right? Like, so you look at this picture and you figure out what does not belong here. And it's like part of what you have to say talks about how to do just that, but in real life, not on a freaking picture, right? In a real picture of your real life. Okay, so part of what you're talking about is how you aligned, how you realized what did not fit here and what needed to change. Okay, so you could be aligned. Okay, and we already did talk about recalibrating. What's up, Ebony? I see you, baby. All right, let's see what else we have here. Show me some more for the tribe. What's happening for us right now? Not against us, but for us. Let's see what we have. Wow, look at this. Men talking. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. I'm hearing, wow, this is interesting. I've never gotten this message before, but they're saying, like, while you're sitting in your spot, in your place in the world, what's happening is it's connecting to you to the others who are aligned in this way. So this is like, you're producing what you're producing as far as getting your voice out, whether it's on something like this, YouTube, or on a book, or on some other media site or in person at an open mic or whatever way you're doing it, right? It's connecting you to other people, and it's like, oh, I hear the ring of truth in that. So whatever you're doing is providing the ring of truth to the others who are also generating in that energy, who are also a part of this process, of this experience, because you're not the only one. What I'm seeing is an uprising. I'm seeing an uprising. I don't know where this image I'm seeing in my head, but I'm just seeing like if the water is so vast, right? And I'm just seeing all these droplets of water, instead of falling down, rising up together, but it's spread out, it's sparse, right? It's spread out. It's like you're being elevated together simultaneously, the way they're showing me. Water, and right now they're using water to speak to the energy of the spirit, right? The energy of being in tune with the spirit. They want the heart chakra bowl on that one. So they're saying in that love energy as well, because in the tarot, the water representing love energies. And so it's like everybody's being elevated at the same time. And the message, I'm hearing the message is compounded. The message is compounded as you do what you do. I heard exponentially compounded as you do what you do, okay? Yeah, and they do what they do, and we do what we do. I hear, and we do what we do, and so the message is exponentially compounded. Interesting, because as the cards did this weird thing that you just saw on the table, we have the Queen of the Swords and the Queen of the Pentacles over here facing each other, doing the weird thing on the card. So we're just going to notice that, because the Queen of Swords is she's very intellectual. She's very observant. She's very, she's not emotional, right? And she works with words. She works with thoughts. She works with ideas. She's great at channeling new ideas. Yes. And then this Queen of Pentacles, like, she works with her resources. So I'm seeing somebody who very much donates time, energy. Like, she's the type of person that would take food. She's the type of person that will collect clothes and give to the homeless, type of a thing. So there's these two energies, okay, anywhere where that relates. And it is also earth sign and air sign as well. I see M2 talking about working first event at a local venue, okay, Puerto Rican celebration, okay. And she knows she's meant to bring people together. She said, yes, it's a charity event. See, so M2, I'm not sure what you're doing there, if you're speaking or if you're being of service or if you're bringing your goods, but whatever you're doing there, like, which of those roles, because I feel like one of those roles totally matches, right? But we're all doing it in some sort of a way, right? As somebody here, you're like, I'm going to bring some food to the homeless so that way they could hear the words coming out of my mouth, right? So there's that. I'm also getting somebody is being paid to speak. I'm seeing somebody who's being paid to speak at a venue because what you have to say is of great value. And it's like the experience you've lived can encourage another, because, you know, I hear there are others who have had that experience and yet they did not evolve out of it. They did not prosper from it. They did not move to the next phase from it, right? They sort of remained dormant there. But things are happening for you now. What you've been praying on, Spirit, is I'm here moving hell and high water, okay? Hell and high water to get it to you, okay? Hell, what is hell? The shadow energy, the dense energy, the densest energies I'm hearing. And then the high water, it's like all this emotional shit. So what that's letting me know is, especially as they're showing me that you were still refined by the process, anywhere where it was in you to be against yourself instead of on your team about this, energetically, mentally, emotionally, all that stuff had to get cleared out of the way so that you could be the energetic match to what you're creating here, is what I'm hearing. Okay, let's see some more. Awesome. Love Hermit said, I'm always here helping folks in need. You know what? Whenever I am moved, I do what I'm moved to do. And sometimes it is that, like, just to give. You know, you got extra blankets. You done bought some new clothes, baby. You don't need 150 shirts in your closet. Pick out like 10. You just brought 5 more home. Pick out like 10. Put them in the trunk. You don't know. You got 10 blankets sitting in the other bedroom, at least put like 5 of them things. You ain't never gonna use all 10 of them blankets at once. What are you having, a slumber party? Like the club style? I'm just saying, like, what's the deal? Somebody, you got so much of something and you're figuring like, oh, wow, I know what I can do with this. I see that energy in this as well. So let's see what we have coming out. This said just pull right off the top. So in your energy, the Chariot, baby, you're taking action. You are balanced in your energy. You're coming forward in your divine feminine and your divine masculine saying, hey, I'm ready to put in the work. I'm ready to go. Okay, let's go. And I just talked about putting something in the trunk so that you could have it to spare and to share, to give where it makes sense. I see somebody like, one of your favorite restaurants serves a plate that would feed 10 people. That's an exaggeration, but at least 2 or 3. So what you're doing is when you get to the restaurant is, I see you asking for an extra plate. I see you serving yourself buffet style off of the main entree plate that they brought you, and packing the rest to go with to-go silverware and to-go beverage, and you find somebody to feed on the way home. Look at you. Like, you're like in motion, living your life every day, and then also being generous with it, because there's a message, there's something you got to say, and you can say something. It's like if you could address their physical needs, you could catch their mind for a minute, right? If you could address their physical needs, they could stop worrying about that physical need. Oh, look at how pretty my white hair is. They could stop addressing their physical concern and worry for a minute long enough to listen to the words coming out of your mouth that could change their life. This is the way you get to tell them, God bless you. This is the way you get to tell them, I'm so glad that I met you. This is the way you get to tell them about, if this is working out for you, I'm sure you got some more surprises on the way. However you're saying it, that's what I'm seeing. Let me see what else we got. Opportunity is the 5 of Wands. Yeah. So you know how to get through the struggle, and here you are. You can see somebody struggle. And I'm hearing, why is this important? They said, pull another card. Why is this important? Because you are the hermit. You had to do this shit by yourself. Didn't nobody come up? Nobody pulled up on you with some new clothes or some blankets or a plate of food when you needed it. So what are you doing? You're being the solution that would have assisted you at that time that was critical mass for you, where you were at a tipping point, right? Where it's so easy to almost give up, but you couldn't, you just kept going, right? So in that, you found the light so the hermit travels at night. What is that? Dark night of the soul. Yeah. So during the dark night of the soul was where you found your light. And so here's the thing. You now having the light, you hold the light up for others to see. So it's not like you're going over there and you're like, well, you know what you need to do is you need to get your head out your ass and get it right. No. You're not doing that. You're just sending them little reminders like, well, I'm sure if this happened for you and you're so thankful, look at how excited you are that I showed up with a plate of food for you or a blanket for you today. I'm so glad that I was guided to put that in my trunk. And you know what? This is how you might slide it in. And just like this happened for you today, I bet you there's some more stuff happening for you today. So you're sort of suggesting an idea, right? Rather than, well, you know what you need to do is this. That's the way you're doing it, because you're a supportive influence. You're not a controlling. You're not out there trying to dominate nobody. You ain't working by the energy of force. You're just presenting information, an opportunity, a level of awareness that maybe it had skipped their notice. A lot of things skip a lot of people's notice until they actually open up their eyes to become aware. So let me see. Yeah, in the past, you made a whole change in your life. You found balance. You realized that, oh man, what's got to go? I need to let that go. I need to stop trying to fight it and hold on to things and people and places and situations and circumstances. And you realize I'm getting expired milk. So whether you realize that it was like expired milk, or whether, you see that now, it's like, it was no reason why would you hold on to expired milk? Like, there's no good reason that I know of. If you know a reason, let me know. But there's something here, 1212, ancestors all up in the house. Yeah, you had to learn how to let go of that which had expired in order to make room for the new, to bring balance to your life, to accept changes. You had to learn to be fluid, to go with the flow, to be like the water baby that can move around all the rocks, okay? And seep into every crevice. Yes, instead of, being so rigid and so stiff and so unyielding and so unmoving and so unaccepting. You had to become accepting and allowing as the water is. Yes, let me see what else we have for you. What you know is a lot more than what you tell. I heard what you know. 1414, twin flame energy. Yeah. What you know is a lot more than what you tell. 1414. It's time for them epiphanies. It's time for enlightenment. It's time for awareness. 1415. And we're moving on and we're progressing. And now because we're moving on and progressing, we're triggering the heck out of somebody. But you know a lot more than you're going to tell. You know a lot more. Like, secrets, details. It's like you could hear the conversations in their head. You could see the energy shift. You could see the ideas. You could see what they're going to do in the future. You could see something there, and it's clear as day for you. What's up, Denver? Okay, Denver in the house. But you're not telling everything you know because you see a lot. And, if you tell some of these people some of the things that you see, they're not ready to accept that. They're not ready to accept that. And here's the other thing. Another thing It's like, this is like when you get in the car at the restaurant with your to-go plate that's got twice as much as what you consumed. And you got your plastic utensils in there. You put a couple extra napkins on there. If there was any jams or jellies on the table, a little bit of packets of sugar, you threw that shit in there too. It was free. It was on the table. Let me just take this in there too. You got a drink to go. And you're like, okay, Spirit, show me who needs this nourishment. Show me who will be most benefited by this here plate of nourishment that I'm bringing. And you know that you'll be guided right to it. And you're right. And you're right, right? And sometimes I'm seeing somebody here where you get a glimpse in your mind. Oh, it's going to be a lady. It's going to be an older lady. It's going to be an older lady who's cold, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, it's something like that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me see. It's going to be a vampire. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me see. The vampire daddy, the daddy vampire. Let me see what else. Yeah, because you just know some things, right? And you don't have to tell everything you know. Some things are, I heard some things are meant to be told and some things are meant to be sold. You give them enough to spark that inspiration, to spark that craving in their soul. Because at the end of the day, you know that it's not for you to do it for them. That they're only going to feel it. The epiphany is going to truly happen when they've done it for themselves. Okay, when they get it in their, it's like they got to have that sense of accomplishment. They got to have that sense of pride in order to honor it. So here you are, you just a whole gardener up in this, baby. You just run around planting seeds left and right, this way and that way. This is what you do, and it's working for you and it's working for them. It's just working all the way around. So let me see what else we have. The 5 of Swords. And then you leave. And then you leave. And you let them go on their path, right? So there's this energy here about you can't control what they're going to do, but you could drop the dime. You could give them a clue. You could point them in the right direction. And then again, you're using your physical resources in order to influence their ability to give attention for just a minute. Interesting the way this is happening. They're just telling me we're going to read this whole spread again and we're going to give you another experience. But let's keep going down this one. Thank you. Queen of Swords. There it is. It's like, oh, there's the one right there. It's like, listen, your approach in this, it's like internally, one of the things you're not telling people is that you know that this is a spiritual battle. You know that when you go speak to these people or when you go into this energy and you pronounce your message and you share your voice, that there's unseen forces that would love for that not to happen. However, you do it any damn way because ain't no cowards around here. There ain't no cowards in this skin. There ain't no cowards in this spirit. There ain't no cowardly lions up in here. I heard full blown and full grown. I heard full blown and full grown. Yeah, when you come around, okay, Dom Kennedy, when you come around These people are like excited. They see you and they can see that there's something different about you. Like I said, there's something, and is it just the physical gift that you're giving? No, not exactly, because they can sense something about you specifically, your physical presence, your energy, the way you present yourself, the way you light up, the way so we're going to go back to as if you were dealing with the homeless. Some of you are not, but some of you are. But you know, the homeless get a lot of snickers and sneers. They get a lot of dirty hateration faces. But here you come up just smiling at them like any other person, and they can see that, and that's attractive to them. But one of the things is it makes them very aware of something about your consciousness. They know that things are going right in your life because, look, here you showing up and you got exactly what I'm needing. And you ain't asking for nothing in return. You're just giving it to me. You're just giving it to me. Absolutely. Let me see what else. What else? The Eight of Cups. Listen, you know that at the end of the day, you're just going to walk away. You understand that. Because you know that here you are. You're here to stimulate energy. You're here to stimulate ideas. You're interested to show other possibilities and probabilities that exist that these ones have not been aware of or attuned to. Without awareness, like there ain't nothing to do. A person needs to be aware of possibilities. And so here you go, presenting possibilities, presenting awareness, okay? And then you leave. Right? And you know also that you can't get emotionally invested with what these people are doing, what you're putting down. Like you could bring the message, you could bring the plate, and if the motherfucker kick it, vomit in it, or throw it away, feed it to their dog, that has nothing to do with me. Dude, I brought you a healthy plate of food. Eat it or don't. You know what I'm saying? I brought you a healthy message. Utilize it or don't. I brought you some good news. You could trample it to death if you want to. But ain't nothing I could do about that, right? That's your choice, not my choice. My choice was to bring it, create the opportunity, create the awareness, and then, you know, you're a sovereign being. You choose for yourself, right? But again, you know that there's a spiritual battle in this. And so in you hope that these people will leave behind their limiting self-belief, their limiting perspectives, and those entities and energies that just want to restrict them and hold them down and bind them. You hope that they will, but you can't be emotionally invested in that. You gave what you gave, you stimulated some shit, and it's time to go. That's the vibes. Let me see what else they got for you. The Three of Wands. Good things coming your way. They're just showing me like you've done this over and over again. And some of you, these homeless people we're talking about, these look like relationships you've had. Yeah, romantic relationships. So anywhere where you've been entertaining romantic relationships with people who just did not get it, you nourished them for a little bit and it was time to go. Like, yeah, good things coming your way. Some of you, these are people that come in and out of your workplace. Again, with 1818 on the, 1818. Moon energy, double moon. Okay, yeah. We don't always know why people show up. But there's a reason for everything. And so you just trust it. And so you show up and you bring it. Because, you know, I was wondering who I was going to give this plate of food to. I got nourishment to offer. Who was going to accept this nourishment and utilize it appropriately? Well, I don't know. But here, you the one that showed up. So you the one I'm going to offer it to. What you going to do with it? And here we go again. I can give it to you, but what you going to do with it? I can give it to you, but what? It's like, are you going to open your eyes or are you going to keep your eyes closed? Are you going to wake up or are you just going to stay dormant? What are you going to do? Let me see somewhere. Okay. The Queen of Wands. This is something that you feel strongly about. This is something you're passionate about. This is something that brings out your creativity, your sunshine. Yes, Reginald, welcome. This is something that brings out your go-get-em attitudes, your ambition, your courage. Like, you know, everybody don't go handing out nothing to the homeless. A lot of folks is afraid of the homeless. Like I said, there's people out here that when they see homeless folks, like they can't even look at them like people. They be squinting their face and squinching it up and making all kind of looks, running the other direction. They be scared. You're not scared. And again, homeless being symbolic for some of you of these people, Okay, yeah, it's coming through in song. They said, I'm like a bird, only fly away. I don't know where my home is. I don't know where my soul is. So because they don't know where their soul is, they don't know where their home is. And that's why they're being described as homeless. Because I'm hearing these ones will allow their self to be tossed around like the waves and just kind of follow into whatever somebody tells them that they are. If they tell them that they're this, then they just kind of accept it, embody it, and become it. Instead of, no, this is what I am, knowing exactly what they am. You know what I'm saying? They got to know exactly what they are being. What is me? And so this is part of the process, right? So these could be people that you didn't interact with at the gas station every 2-3 days for the last 5 years of your life. I don't know, but this is something here about you're bringing in information, and then with that, it's like a little bit of bait with it. There's a little bit of bait with it. Yeah, you go fishing, you want some good bait. Let me see what else we got. King of Swords. And now this, as you're focused on the future, as you are, intent on sharing your message, I see somebody from behind you. I see somebody from behind you is pissed because they wanted to tap into your magic. Wow. But they can't, because the sword of truth protects you from whatever they would try to throw your way. That's what I'm seeing. Somebody here, they're like, they hate it because I heard you read them like a book, like a short book, like a book of poems. You know what I'm saying? Real easy, lightweight reading. You ain't got. I'm seeing it was just a little tiny. It wasn't even a big, thick book of poems. It was a little tiny book of poems, and you read them like that book. Yeah. They're showing not even 100 pages and just a little simple poem on each page. Lightweight reading. This was lightweight work. This is not a challenge. This was lightweight work, right? And so you read them. You told them about their self. And it really upset them. Like their book looked more like a pamphlet. You know what I'm saying? An informational pamphlet. You read them like a book, baby. And the first thing that's gonna happen in that process with this one is you triggered the heck out of them. You triggered them so badly because they're not used to anybody else knowing that. Get off of my ears. Okay. They're not used to somebody else knowing that. They're used to being able to conceal that, hide that. What's up, Reese? Yeah, and D. They're used to being able to hide that and conceal that. Yeah. And so this person who may be literally physically homeless, or homeless in that they don't know where the soul is, right? Something you said hit the nail on the head is what I heard. Something you said hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what you were there for, to hit the nail on the head. Like, we going to solidify this. We going to get it in there tight, baby. You got that? Did you get it this time? Okay, did you get it this time? Because it's giving me the vibes. The spirit has been trying this way and that way and the other way to try to present this information to them. They keep ignoring it. I heard they done watched it in a movie. They done heard it in a song. They done met somebody else in the same position. They still couldn't pick it up. They still couldn't see it. So here you come with point blank period words. You said something. And it wasn't in an attacking way. It was just creating awareness. But this time, the way it hit, just kind of, it hit differently. It just got in there. It just did the damn thing. It couldn't do any other way. It just could not do it any other way. I don't like it. I don't want it. This was their response. I don't like it. I don't want it. It made them angry. It made them angry because I'm hearing what it did was it put accountability back in their lap. It puts accountability back in their lap, and these ones don't want to be accountable. Yet it's in the accountability where they'll find their own DNA activation. It's in the accountability where they find their own power. It's in the accountability where they find their own elevation. Oh, that part. That's the whole part. Okay, I heard, and it's in the accountability where they find their salvation from the experience, because the experience came to them for that very reason. Like they be like, why did this always happen to me? Because of that, what you don't want to see, what you don't want to accept that you already know. Take accountability. You know? But yet and still they sit there and they be angry. I hate that this I just wish I knew why this. Somebody's doing this to me. Yeah, you doing it to you. God, my white hairs look gorgeous. Okay, you're doing it to you. I don't usually be seeing them on camera, but today they pronounced. Look at that. Maybe I got more today. I think they beautiful. You're beautiful. That's for sure. Okay, somebody, that's the problem. They're trying to hide their beauty under all this anger, under all this rejection. It's like, honey, Jesus wasn't even accepted in his hometown. He had to get the fuck out of there to find his acceptance. I'm just saying. Like, however that applies. Fly with that if it's yours. Let me see what else we got. The three Pentacles. You're like, it's okay. You don't have to want it. It's still working with you. I heard the seed is being planted. The seed is already being planted. And so now it's like the universe going to work in collaboration because everything is happening for you. Now, how does all this, so this personal experience, you've been out here doing spiritual battle, presenting new levels of awareness in order to uplift and empower. So the question that we asked was, what is happening for us now? Now, they done gave us a whole experience here about how it affected somebody else, but how is this happening for you? What is happening for you about this 9 of fucking cups? Love, wish fulfillment, emotional independence. Like your happiness is your own. I heard if you could go into the territory and work like you did with these ones and maintain your vibe, maintain your character, like this nine of Pentacles, I was about to say, the 9 of Cups is thick in you. Self-satisfaction, self-motivated, independent emotionally. Like wish fulfillment coming your way. You get what you wanted. You wanted to, is that what it is? Okay. So right here, your biggest wish that you had, if you look back, I heard 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years, whatever it is. If you look back, there was a time where you wished you could be in the position you're in now. And now you gonna stop. You're like, you know what? You're right. I remember when I wanted to be exactly here. And now I'm here. But it was a process. It was a process that you had to go through in order to develop this. And now you're here. So what is working for you now? What is happening for you now? Everything. And what it did was it gave you the opportunity to show yourself. I'm hearing all these experiences here with these ones have given you the opportunity to show yourself what you have become, which is what at one point in time, this is exactly what you wanted to be, but you didn't know how. You couldn't see the path to it. You didn't know you had this in you, and you definitely didn't know. I heard you definitely didn't know it was going to happen this quickly. Yeah, let me see the bottom of the deck in this. The 4 of Wands. Yeah, that was the initiation point. When you said, boy, I sure wish I could be like fill in the blank. Your soul heard you. Your future self heard you. Your spirit heard you. Your soul team heard you. All of creation heard you. The entire universe heard you and responded. And you self-initiated onto this path of learning. Yeah. And this was, there's the confirmation. 6 of Cups below that saying, yeah, this is something that happened in the past. It happened because you wanted it. 6 of Coins. You wanted to have more to spare and to share. You wanted to be able to be generous, to give without consequence, to give freely. You wanted to have extra to give. And now you got extra shoes, extra socks, extra blankets. Why do you have extra toothbrushes and toothpaste? Can you please put that in the comments? Because I see somebody who has like cases of toothbrushes and toothpaste. Do you know how badly the homeless need that? I'm just saying. Let me see what else. And the death card. Yeah. To create transformation and change that would be long-standing, that would be beneficial on the long term, that would have real life effects. Okay. What else? 3 of Swords. Because that was what you wanted, you had to go through this process of realizing everywhere where you were your own worst enemy, everywhere where you were deceiving yourself, everywhere where you are allowing yourself to be deceived. Okay. And it was the truth that hurt like a bee and set you free. That it was because you didn't have emotional maturity. You had to become emotionally mature, emotionally independent. And that happened through the process of addressing all of those truths that hurt like a bee and set you free. And so what you did was, you, in this process of doing that, I heard inadvertently, or as a side effect, you started calling back all your energy bit by bit by bit. You started calling back all your energy. And what was happening also in this process was you began to heal your heart. They want the heart chakra ball on that again. Oh, 5 times we hit it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They counted it out for me. 5. You had to make changes to your hearts. Okay. Not that there was something wrong with your heart, but it was like it was maladjusted. It wasn't adjusted correctly. It was miscalibrated. Okay. The timing was off. I heard the timing was off. The alignment was off. The adjustments were off, and so you had to make the proper adjustments to your own heart. Yeah, this caused you to go through a state of transformation, right? And in that state, you had to let go of a bunch of emotional attachments you had. You had cried so many times, and when you thought you were done crying about something, what do you know? It came back around, and you had to cry about it again. A lot of this had to do with family and with people that had left your life, and those cycles had completely closed down. You start to realize, like, well, there must have been a bigger purpose in that connection, because let me tell you, it totally changed my life. And this is giving me soul contract energy, absolutely. And you know what? In that process, you found your Ace of Cups. This, I'm always going to say it on this channel. We've been saying it for years. You found your self-love. And that's where all the real love begins, right? So you found that. And that was your victory. And as you had that victory move, you could come off that battlefield out of that Ace of Cups. You're able to come off the battlefield to receive your roses. This is the celebration ceremony. This is where you get to get your rewards, right? You're recognized. Welcome, Matthew, right? And who could not, who could not be there? There's certain ones that could not be there because you now had your hands on the prize. You had your hands on the coin, and these same ones that could not be there, who are the ones that, you were crying about them, right? You was upset about them. Then here you go, divine inspiration. You say, well, I'm going to take this recognition and I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going worldwide. Okay, you're going to spread the message. And what happens? You go out there, you spread that message from the Ace of Cups in your love, from your heart, and different ones are attracted to that, right? And you share that love with other people. And along this journey, I just see like you meet other people who also have that capacity. And y'all are able to do this together, right? And then the sun shines, happiness, joy. And as soon as you get that happiness and joy, you notice something that tends to happen is that there's always somebody over there that didn't make the right choice. And they be mad because they over there by themselves, feeling lonely, missing you. They can't get into this energy. They can't be a part of this vibe. They can't be a part of this success. They can't be a part of your new process because they decided that they was not going to let go of whatever it was that they had been carrying in their soul. And you moved on. You moved on. And you followed the guidance of spirit in doing so. You cut through all the blockages and restrictions, right? You went ahead and allowed yourself to meditate, rest, and recuperate and see your core. You found your why. You found your reason, yeah? And you aligned with it. And then you allowed that alignment to flow into the rest of your human experience. And that was a major checkpoint in life. That was a major place in life that was transformational. It's like you could never revert behind, back. There's no digressing back there at all. None at all. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Confirmation. There's no digressing beyond this point. Like you will never go back to where you were mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Thank you. And that's where the DNA activation happened. Once you activated that new DNA, that meant you consistently made the same better choice, improved choice, higher vibrational choice for yourself over and over enough that it solidified. And boom, now the DNA is active. And the DNA has a new self-identity, right? Your chemistry, your biology became different in harmony with that new decision. Now, from there, you have all kinds of options open up for you that were not, it's like before that DNA activated in you, you weren't aligned with these options. You couldn't even see these options. You couldn't even see these possibilities and probabilities. But now you can. And so here you go. Well, let me go explore all those possibilities and probabilities. There's options here. I got options. I could go check it out. So here you go. Let me see what I can learn and gather from this. One of the things you learned was patience and divine timing is so important to accept and allow. The other thing you learn is that there's a lot that you don't know. And you don't know what you don't know. But if you're open to learning and you remain teachable, before you know it, it's going to hit you upside the head. And now you're going to know. And then that puts you on another level. Again, another level up. So now you've not only DNA activated, but in your physical life, this level up has more to do with now you're a homeowner. Now you're the boss. Now you're the head one in charge. Now you have a boat. Now you got a new car. So there's some sort of physical symbology in your real, actual 3D life that aligns with, yes, this is like when I went from my lowrider to my shadow. My shadow's speedy, zoom, zoom, zoom. New car, everything fresh. The lowrider was cool as hell, but it was bigger body, not as fast, not as much access. So this is the kind of level up. So maybe it was in a car, but that physical symbology was representative of you, your energy. And guess what? Boom, shine. With the shadow, it makes the light shine bright. Hello? Absolutely. So this is like you shining bright, you being recognized as a star. You got that star power, you got that star light. And it's like wrapped in a pretty ribbon. Okay, it's somebody here. I see you got a tattoo to symbolize it. Okay, you're in the new energy. You're in the new vibe. You're being seen. It's obvious to see. And so you start noticing more and more people just can't help but look at you, try to talk to you, touch your hair, touch your hand, touch your face, whatever they want to do. It's like folks be trying to touch on you. It's almost like security. You need to walk around with security on some level because people just want to be in your face. They just want to see you. You know what I'm saying? They want to be you. And it's because you are the wielder of the power. It's because you are the one that's in this space. It's because you got that creative force in you, right? And they know enough to be able to see it. And they're like, damn, I wish that they would give me some of that. I wish I had some of that star power. And they just like looking at you while you receive all the glory, all the admiration, all the success. It's like every hard thing you ever went through, every other difficulty and trial and tribulation that you done been through, they don't see none of that. They just see you get it all. They see that you have your throne and it was gifted to you. They see that you have your crown and it was commanded to you. They see that you have your position and that you're elevated even from their position. Like they got it going on, but not like you got it going on. What you got going on is a whole nother level. They need to get an appointment, right? They can see that. And it makes them criticize themselves. It makes them criticize themselves, but it also, in that criticism, is opportunity to become more self-aware. Interesting. So here you go. You keep just doing you and minding your business, and then you leave. And then you leave. And what you don't know is when you leave, people still be thinking about you. They be thinking about you. Oh, no, 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 I be thinking about you. Oh, no, 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 I be thinking about you. Do you think about me too? Do you? Do you? They really wish you would. But here's the thing of it is, they be thinking about you. And whichever way they're thinking about you, interesting, is the energy that they bring back home. Yeah. So if they're thinking about you and they're thinking great thoughts about, boy, I really love meeting that person. Boy, the Empress was awesome. Boy, the Empress was cool. Boy, I hope I can become like the Empress. Then that would be serving them well because their soul hears them and there ain't nothing negative in it. But if they thinking about you and they thinking about you in the way of, oh, I can't stand that. And I sure wish she would lose her. And I wish all that hair she had on her head would fall out. How's she going to have so much hair and I'm half bald and got to wear a wig type shit, you know? Just hater shit. Well, they better watch out because wishing that the hair fall out is going to take all their hair off their head. Somebody, you know, this channel message, they just hit me upside the head real hard with it talking about This channel message is true as fuck. Somebody really wished you would lose the hair off of your head, and you know they're losing their hair right now. They are literally going bald in this physical reality because they wished you would lose your hair off of your head. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy. Whatever they're sending your way, if they're sending gratitude and thanks and appreciation, admiration, whatever the fuck it is, respect, they're going to get some. And anywhere where they're sending envy, jealousy, hatred, whatever that is, they're going to get some. And you know what? You're going to go about your business unaffected because you don't even need these people to send you shit. You're like, I don't need you to send me shit. I got this. I got all this. Yeah. But you motivate them, you stimulate them, you inspire them. And, you know, it's so that they can make changes, make a different decision to take control over their own life. And everywhere where they've been stuck in their own head and incarcerating themselves mentally and through their own intentions, right? So that they can see the truth, so they can find a way out of that path. But here you go. In your happiness and your ultimate fulfillment, right? And still being reunited with others who are like-minded, like energy, who are also in their power, who are also tapped in with their soul, who are also the ones who have the connection to the divine mind, okay? And, you know, together, y'all gonna put in some work. You know, you're gonna create things together. I see collaborations. I see teamwork makes for dream work. I see promoting each other. I see, like I said, collaborations, working together to help each other elevate, because we rise together, baby. Yeah. So what's working for you? What's happening for you? Well, things are getting easier. All these truths are more important than the one truth that try to block you. And it's like they all coming against that one thing that tried to block you. It's like they overpower it, okay? And listen, then you match all those ideas with the action that backs it up. Okay, I'm the queen of talking shit and backing it up. Okay, just call me Cardi. And yeah, you can say that, you can do that because you actually became that. Like you self-developed that. And baby, whatever they thought that they knew about you, they finna learn today. Okay, and these are the facts. You show people what it means to be persistent, consistent. You show people what it means to be divinely ordained, put in a spiritual position that cannot be toppled, that cannot be conquered. No fucking coup works because the divine is on my side. There is no weapon that can be formed against me. It does not fucking work. Yes. Their lies come from the devil. The devil is the father of all lies, honey. The devil is the father of all lies, and you're not believing none of that shit no more. Marco, I see you. Like M2, absolutely. We're on this. I just used the whole deck, y'all, and told you the experience. And I'm looking at your comments. I'm looking at your comments, and y'all know what I'm talking about. You're vibing with this. I love recording live because, first off, that stuff is instantly uploaded. But you can get in here, and you can tap in, and y'all can see exactly what is being. And you're like, wow, that's my life. That's my energy. That's my story. So remember, just because you know it don't mean you got to tell it. And that's been a part of the process. So keep that, they're saying, keep that strong in your mind. You don't got to tell everything you know to everyone. I heard because what's known don't need to be told. You know what I'm saying? What's known don't need to be told. If it's known, you don't have to tell everything. Right? And why? Because Jesus saying, because I told you not to throw your pearls to swine. Some folks just ain't ready for it. You can only give them, a morsel. You can't give them a pearl. You can't give them a pearl. Absolutely not. You cannot. They say, so, but what you can do is you can throw them a morsel, a little tiny tidbit, something to stimulate their thought. That's it. And that's all you're going to give. And then others, you just now know that, yeah, we're not doing that at all. And so when you give that tiny tidbit and they want more, because you know what, this is like somebody here, I see a psychic, I see an intuitive, I see an empath, I see somebody who is a reader of sorts, and you have the ability to just tell folks what's happening with them, kind of like we do on the channel here. But here you are, you're out minding your business, trying to have a good time, what have you, and then somebody coming on like, can you read me? It's like, well, can you pay me? And they're like, well, no, I don't have no money to pay. Okay, well, I got nothing to read. It's that simple. Like, I'm giving you what I'm guided to give you. And you sitting up here, I gave you an inch, you wanna ask for a mile? I was guided to give you an inch. God said take $3 out my pocket and give it to the next person I see, not give you $100 because you're asking for it from me. No, God said to give you $3. That way you get, $2. $2. I put, $3 and say peace. They said $3 and say peace. Okay. Some people, the price you pay, what's up, Kelly? Is what's up, Lay? Okay. What the price you pay to get rid of them is so worth it. I'm hearing it's so worth it. Okay. But it's like they want more. It's like, if you ain't invested in it, why should I be invested in it? You asking for my time. Don't you know time is money? Don't you know time is energy? Don't you know energy, cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So if I'm going to read for you, I'm going to give you some of my energy. What are you doing to reciprocate this energy? I have value. I have worth. I know my value. I know my worth. Clearly you do not. And here, another thing that they're saying is, a lot of times, this is another reason why you're just giving them that morsel, that little tidbit, a little tiny nibble. Because if they have not invested in it, a lot of times these folks that haven't invested in it don't value it, and then they don't use it. That's not to say all of them, but the majority of them, they're not willing to invest nothing in it. They ain't gonna make no proper use of it. So they wanted to remind us of that. So whatever it is that you have been praying for or trying to manifest is on its way to you. So keep believing and know that Spirit is always working on your behalf. And I'm hearing, and Spirit sees all these things that you do. Spirit sees all the moves that you make. Spirit sees all the risks that you take, okay? And I hear, and they appreciate you, and they're proud of you. And you are in your spiritual positioning, spiritually certified for this very reason. Thank you, Kelly Price. Talk about some reciprocation. Look at that. Imagine how easy this would be to take time away from my nail studio and sit up here and do readings for you if everybody just reciprocate $1.99 each. Big Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, those are my favorites. But I'll take it on a super chat too. Thank you. This is what we have for you today. I'm so thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence, for what you're doing to hold down this love and peace and happiness by heaps around the world. People say, what you gonna do today? I said, the only thing I know I'm doing today is going worldwide, and the rest the Spirit will reveal. So until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. Kamsahamnida. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. And I'm out.